Hey guys, this is Kai, and today we're in the hydroponic greenhouse. So in the first video I just gave you a little run through of what the greenhouse looked like, and at this point that was about 2.5 weeks ago, and you can already see how much everything has grown. Now when I originally built this last year, I built it as an aquaponic greenhouse, and I'll show you the reservoir that I kept the fish in, but found out pretty soon that being in Ohio, it's kind of hard to keep the greenhouse heated in the winter, and I really didn't want to put that much work into it as far as trying to keep the fish alive, because it really wasn't financially viable to do that in such a small greenhouse. I wouldn't have been really getting much out of it. So what I decided to do this year is just turn it into a basic hydroponic greenhouse and see what would happen. So this is where we should start in the greenhouse. Hopefully you guys can hear me with the water running, but this is the reservoir where I used to keep the fish. It is quite big because I'm still going to have that option if I want to down the road to try to convert this back into an aquaponic greenhouse. I can still do that, but the reservoir itself is about 230 gallons, and so it if I jumped in there, it's probably about waist deep, so it goes in the ground quite a bit. And then I have two pumps. One pump goes up to these two filtration tanks, and as I said, it was originally made for an aquaponic system, so these tanks were made for the fish waste, the solids, to be removed from the system. If we move from here, the pipe will go into basically a flood bed, and I have a lot of lettuce in here, as you can see right here. The water will travel all the way down this flood bed, and then, as you can see, down this pipe right there, and then it will travel back this direction towards the reservoir, and then empty out right back into the reservoir. So that's that side, really. Now on the other side, we have kind of the same setup. We have two tanks, so I have another pump that goes into those two tanks. Then those tanks have a couple different directions that they go with the water. One, it goes into these 55-gallon barrels right here. And in each 55-gallon barrel, I have a little bell siphon. So the beds will actually flood and then drain due to the siphon being in there. And it kind of works as an auto siphon. So it'll flood the bed, and then it'll siphon out and empty out into the reservoir. The other direction that the water will go on this side is this black tube that runs down into these, yes, they are cat litter boxes. I'm not ashamed. But I converted them into some Dutch buckets. And as you can see, each bucket has water running through it. And it just spills out there, just like that. Now each one of these Dutch buckets, at least most of them, flood down into this piece of PVC pipe where I have quite a few more bunches of lettuce that grow out of that. After it runs through this PVC pipe, then it's going to drain down into this, yes, this is an old shower bottom. So it's going to drain into the shower bottom, and in the middle is actually another drain that goes into the reservoir. Up top, I just got some little coffee canisters, holes drilled in them, some hydroton balls. It'll sit in water, and as you can see, it grows pretty good there. Right in the middle of this is the only part that isn't self-watering. I built this year just to put a little bit more vegetation in here. And these are actually small barrels cut in half, not the 55-gallon, but these might be a 10 or 15-gallon barrel, but these are all cut in half. And there's 3 tiers. Hopefully, as you might be able to see right there. But as I said, They are not self-watering, but if I water the top, I have holes in each of the bottom ones, so it'll drain. If there's too much water, it will drain into the next one below it. So that's one of my little projects that I'm doing, is the hydroponic greenhouse. I also have a garden outside, but the groundhogs seem to be eating everything I have. Groundhogs! But you understand. No tomatoes quite yet. Got a couple nice little banana peppers showing up. Like I said, this is about 2.5 weeks after video number 1. So if you take a peek up here, I'm going to add video number 1, and you can take a peek at that, so you can kind of see where this greenhouse has went in the past, literally 2.5 weeks, I believe, and it's grown quite a bit. So hopefully within the next few weeks, we're actually going to have some tomatoes that I can eat.
Who likes a tomato? This guy. Tomato.
But hopefully, if you guys like this video,
Tomato.
I'll do a few more updates as the season goes along. Maybe I'll even show you the garden. We'll see how that works.
Groundhogs.
If you have any questions about the system, please feel free to ask. I'll try to answer as best I can. I don't consider myself a big-time gardener, but I don't think I've done too bad here. So what I actually have in the greenhouse, in the hydroponic system itself, is tomatoes, lettuce, a few different types of lettuce, a couple different types of tomatoes, a few different types of peppers, and I think that's really all I have hooked up inside of the system itself. Little barrels that I have in the middle here, I do have some strawberries, onions, and some other herbs, and they seem to be growing perfectly fine. So anyway, that's one of my projects. I hope you guys liked the video, and maybe I'll be able to show you some of the other things that I like to do, some stuff just for fun, and some stuff just working in the yard, and of course, I'd love you guys' support. Take care.
Groundhogs.